Hey Libra, I am your astrologer Wonder Girl, taking you to new heights. Here is your weekly forecast for the week of Monday, December 18th to Monday, December 25th, 2017. Now, what is going on this week is a major new moon that we had actually Sunday, the day before this weekly reading is for, that happened right here in Sagittarius in your third house of talk and of communication and of people around town. Okay, so this is going to be some kind of new beginning for you in the way that you talk to people, in the way that you communicate with people, also in the way that you think about your life, about what's going on in your life. Could also be a new beginning in regards to your community and your immediate environment and the people that you see and work with just regularly on a regular basis. There could be some new beginning that comes in there, okay? With this new moon so close to Saturn, with Saturn here at the 29th degree of Sagittarius, where it's been for the past 2.5 years, I don't think this is just some kind of like small little new thing that you're doing. I think this is like a really big new beginning that you've been working on for quite some time here, trying to think in new ways about your life, talk in new ways about your life, and to work with people in your immediate environment a lot differently, that you're just now starting to commit to in a really big way and to start to step into, all right? So that's what is happening here this week. I think as you're trying to move forward though with this new beginning, communicating about things, seeing maybe the world differently, talking and thinking about things perhaps in a different way, I think there's lots of communication still coming up, still trying to work things out in your mind here and still trying to talk to people in order to make sure that this new beginning is where it is that you want it to be, okay? This is kind of an interesting thing because we have Mercury here, which is going retrograde in its own house. Mercury likes being in the third house. So it makes a lot of communication a really big thing for you. Figuring out your life, what's going on, understanding what's happening around you in your immediate environment is just a huge thing for you this week that you're really trying to figure out. And it's like you're committing to some new way, new perspective on life, perhaps, and committing to a way of thinking about life, but still wanting to make sure that your perspective is right, that you're communicating in the right ways, that your environment, the way it is now, is the way that it is that you want it to be. Okay, and so we have this weird thing, the beginning of this week, Monday through Wednesday, where we're starting to move forward and make some progress and some new perspective, but there's still some things and kinks that we need to work out in regards to our thoughts on this matter before we can fully move forward on it. And I think a lot of that for you, this thing that you're thinking about and talking about and this new perspective is going to have a lot to do here where the North Node is, with Mercury in a trine to the North Node and your 11th house of your goals and of your dreams and of your hopes for the future. Also of the people that you associate with, your groups of people that you associate with. And so I think what you're trying to figure out here is how you can begin to communicate about your dreams better, about where it is you see your life going better, so that you can start to associate with people that are more right for you, and so that you can start to be more open and more authentic about what it is that's going on for you. And I think you're starting to get there where you're being able to communicate and think better about what's happening with you and with people around you, but you still need to figure out how you can more authentically express yourself, better reach your goals here, and better work with other people in order to make it happen, all right? So that's what's going on for you. I think as you're having these conversations and as you're trying to work some of this stuff out in your mind about where you see your life going and how you can commit to thinking about a certain life direction and a certain dream that you have. I think there's also some stuff with relationships coming in, with Venus sandwiched in between the Sun and Mercury here, making a square over to Chiron, which is going to be in your 6th house of your job and your daily routines. So as lots of this communication is happening for you about your goals, about where your life is going, maybe there are some uncomfortable things with relationships and with money, some hard conversations with relationships and about money in regards to your job, in regards to what you do on the day-to-day and what your daily routines look like in some way that is coming up, okay? 6th house also does rule health, so there could be some things with money and relationships and health that also come up as well, that could be a little bit uncomfortable that you're having to work out. But I think if you can still commit to having this new perspective and to thinking and communicating about some of your goals, even if it's hard, okay, about your job, even if it's hard to figure out what you're doing on the day-to-day, even if it's hard to get relationships on board with you, or even if you're uncomfortable in the process. I think doing that is really going to help you here where Uranus is in your 7th house, to have some of the relationships that it is that you need, since your 7th house rules partnerships and contracts. Okay, this is kind of interesting here because it's like relationships are like kind of hurtful with Venus in a square to Chiron this week when it comes to work. Hard conversations at work, hard conversations about what you're doing on the day-to-day. But I think if you can have the hard conversations on your day-to-day in whatever way here, in the best way you can possible, it's not always easy to have hard conversations. I think it's going to open some doors up here for you with relationships, to have relationships that are more authentic for you, that really resonate with you and who you are here, and to just feel more free to associate with the right people. Okay, so some things going on there. It's like you're trying to commit to, seeing your life in new ways and associating with new people, and really having, to work out some uncomfortable issues with relationships and money, so that you can start to move forward on them better, and making sure that you've got the right people in your life in the right way, and that you're doing the right things. All right. So that's what I see going on there. As you're trying to figure all of this stuff out, we also do have Jupiter in your 2nd house of money and of income, making a square over here to the North Node. So it's not enough to just communicate about your goals, about where you see your life going, about some things that are really important to you in new and different ways, but really having to focus here on money, on what you need financially, what's going on there, and what you need to bring more stability into your life. Also having to focus a lot on your unique gifts and skills and talents, what you can offer the world that no one else can, in some way, coming in big time here, that you really need to focus on in order for you to reach some of your goals and put your life in the right place. When a planet squares the nodes, which Jupiter is doing this week, sometimes we tend to forget about it or ignore it. And I think as you're maybe having some of these, committing to a new perspective on life and having some hard conversations with people here, needing to keep an eye on what's your financial situation like, and how can you make sure that's in order and bring that stability to you, make the changes that you need to bring more income to you. And while you're thinking about relationships and having some of those conversations too, also trying to figure out what can you offer the world that no one else can, and how can you express some of that more than you have before. And it's just trying to bring all of this stuff together this week that you're trying to figure out, especially at the beginning of this week. Now at the end of the week, things change. So I'm gonna draw that up now and get much simpler, which is nice. Okay. So here you are, Libra. That's your 1st house. Now, at the beginning of the week, well, we had a lot of stuff that we were working out right here in Sagittarius and your 3rd house of talk and communication. By the end of the week, Thursday through Monday, Venus and the Sun and Saturn all move over to the 1st degree of Capricorn, where they are conjunct at the end of the week. All right. So as to where the beginning of the week, you're trying to communicate in the right way with people, to express what it is that you want and where you see your life going. Towards the end of the week, it becomes more about building on these conversations that it is that you have, and on this perspective that it is that you've created and honed in on in the past 2.5 years. All right, because all of these planets are going to be conjunct here in your 4th house of home and family. So it becomes towards the end of the week no longer about talking about some of these things, even though you, of course, are still going to be talking to people about what's going on, but in committing to building on them, being comfortable with them, and creating a home life and a foundation that you feel is much better for you as you start to reach some of these goals and reach some of these dreams. All right, I'm really trying to figure some of that out. And I think this is going to be a big commitment at the end of the week to starting to create a life that resonates more truly with you deep down, and to start to put in the hard work here to build yourself up. I think you're going to have to work on, now that I've had these conversations about my life and where I see my life going, and I've tried to bring it all together, right? How can I make it happen, be comfortable with this stuff, and really start to put in the work so that you can get the reputation that it is that you want and feel much better about it. Okay. And really starting to move forward in that. Mercury too, stationing, really giving you the big boost to start to think more about the future than you have before. All right, so that's what's going on there, Libra. Now for your card is the High Priestess reversed. This card happens when what do I want to say about this card? Normally when you weren't listening to your intuition, maybe there's some promptings deep down inside you that you aren't listening to or that you're ignoring. And I think the message of this card is to listen to your heart, listen to the promptings of the spirit, what you feel deep down inside you, you know, that you feel like you need to express in some way. And I think the message is to not be afraid to express your truth, to not be afraid to listen to things that you're feeling, even if they don't make sense here, so that you can start to do some things that it is that you need to do, and not to hide or push down some things that are really, really important to you, okay? This card, to me, is also, when it's upright, representative of like the divine feminine in a way. So I don't know if this is like a super aggressive kind of energy of like acting and getting a bunch of things done, but I think it's an energy too of like just, yeah, waiting for answers to be revealed and slowly making the turns in the right direction in a way that just is more compassionate for everyone and can work out in some way, and to not be scared this week if things don't start hitting their stride really quickly until the end of the week comes in, okay? So that's what I've got for you this week. Libra, thank you so much for watching your horoscope. If you like it, please like it on YouTube, subscribe to my channel, share it with your friends, and I will talk to you later.